Just take one look at this and tell me what you see. A completely stripped down interior. I think this thing is now considered gutted. What is up, guys? Welcome back to Joe's Garage for another episode of Subaru Saturday. I am super excited about this one because we are finally almost finished with the entire interior. Everything is pulled out of this car and we're finally going to be addressing some of the rust. In today's video, we start ripping out the rest of anything that's left in here, and you'll see we remove some parts in the back that needed to be taken out. Some of the sound deadening material gets removed, and then we really just kind of clean it up so we can get a good idea. I do knock down some of the rust in this driver's side floor pan and coat it up with some zinc. But I'm excited about this one because it means that the car is almost completely finished on the interior, and that's what we've been working for in the past few videos. So thank you for tuning into Joe's Garage for another episode of Subaru Saturday. I hope you enjoy this one, and let's get right to work. Alright, so in order to get this braid out from the back, it kind of loops through and you can just barely see, but it comes across for the trunk and some lights in the back, a few sensors, the rear defrosters. So I actually have to go in the trunk to remove some of this in order to pull it out this way. But a lot of you guys that watch obviously aren't subscribed to the channel, so if you're watching, please hit the red button, subscribe to the channel. We're going to restore this car together. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying it so far, and I'd really appreciate that. It just helps the channel grow, and I want to make something special out of this channel. Most of you guys already know that, but pretty soon I won't ask every time. I just, you know, everybody tells me if you don't ask, a lot of people won't do it. So that's why I'm saying just hit subscribe. It helps me so much and I really appreciate it. Let's move around to the trunk in order to get these wires pulled through, removed from the back so we can get them out from the driver's side, and then we can move on to the next step here. I do have a decent amount of stuff in the way from the back, so I'm just gonna go ahead and move this stuff really quick and then get back there and see what we can do. Honestly, guys, I'm running out of space for everything because our garage is just jam-packed. I'm gonna make some space in the upstairs, but it's not easy just to take the time that I have to work on the car in order to clean everything up and make space every week. I'm getting like just overwhelmed with the amount of things I have laying all over the garage. It actually makes this project a little scarier because, you know, not everything is so organized, and I'm just hoping when I go to start putting things back together, I can remember in my head where I put everything, because, you know, that's probably one of the scariest things, is being so unorganized, and that's just something I'm not very good at. But, you know, we do our best. The very first one's very easy. It's just a wire over here with a clip. Oh, look at that. That's the drain for the sunroof for the back. It's interesting. It's nice because I can reach around and get these clips out without breaking them in some places. This is the trunk latch cable, which we have to run through there also. Oh, this one's going to be a little difficult. In order to disconnect this, which runs across the back, it's the brake light for the spoiler for the wing, the speaker wires. It goes through this hole here. As long as I can get my hand through there, it's no big deal. You gotta turn this around. We gotta get this piece off. Honestly, I have no clue where that went. It would have gave me a black eye. Oh, there are two clips. I get it. The front comes up. Once the front's up, it comes out. Oops. Wow, those are good clips that it held, so I was prying hard and it held. Yeah, that makes more sense. Here's the end of that wire. Nice. Truthfully, we still have so much rust to deal with back here, which we haven't even started on, so that's a little alarming. I'm not worried about it, but it's like, the rust never ends. Yeah, I don't want to detach this cable, I just want to pull this one through. I wonder if it's attached at all. I think I can just pull this cable through that side and leave it in the trunk. Then I am able to still pull the cable to open the trunk if I need to. And then we just have to do these wires up here, so I'm gonna do that real quick. There we go. My guess, a lot of these little ones are gonna break and I'll end up having to replace them. Yeah, those clips are such a pain. Let's go ahead and feed this through now. All right, now we can finally remove these wires now that I got them pulled out from the back, all the way down and around to where it's connected in its very last place. Honestly, just looking at this interior completely ripped out like this is so inspiring. It's crazy because earlier I was saying I just never really thought I was gonna take it down this far. I just thought I was gonna go through the motions, but obviously with the YouTube production and working with everybody on the internet, it just has motivated me to go farther and farther, and we're almost to the point where we don't have to go any farther stripping things down. We literally can just start building almost. So it's pretty incredible, guys, and I'm super pumped about this. And like, just take a look, now that we've got that back torn out, all the wires are out, it's even farther than it was. So what I'm gonna do now is I want to get the e-brake out, but I remember I tried to remove these here and it started to stretch. So I'm gonna heat this up a little bit and see if I can get this out. And then I think I might just take a few different methods at knocking down some of this rust to see what we have, and I don't know, we'll go from there. I'm kind of curious to see what we can get done, because I really just don't even have like a end goal here. Obviously we're just going to be working on this until it's finished, and I don't have like a completed product to provide you guys in today's video, but the progress is there and I'm pretty pumped about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and set the camera down, try and get the handbrake out, and then, you know, go back through and see what else I can do. All right, so we've got a lot of this removed. And by removed, I mean the sound deadening material and every single thing inside of the 2.5RS. And I just want to give you a little peek of what it looks like from back here. It looks just completely empty. Now this was giving me some issue here. It was like beat up or something was different about this material here. And I'm assuming over here is going to be the same. I might just heat this up to remove it. But I wanted to show you guys how rusty it is back here. we're gonna have some rust issues with this. Obviously, moisture sits at the bottom of this. It's the lowest point back here, so water got back there. And pretty much everywhere there's seams, there's rust. I don't know if the seam sealer was weird and it just held moisture, but yeah, we're gonna have to address a lot of that also. But I'm super pumped about it because this is the cleanest I've had it since I started ripping the interior apart, and I swear there's literally nothing in the interior anymore besides fuel lines, brake lines, and the door wires and one airbag wire. Other than that, it's pretty much just nuts and bolts in here. So we're pretty much done stripping the car, and I kind of consider it to be gutted. So that's why, you know, I was saying we gutted the interior, I guess, because like I'm just excited to say that. It sounds cool. I do want to show you guys this really quickly before I wrap up today's video. Check this out. I was removing this back here, and if you remember when I did the dry ice video, I said I'm not sure I'm gonna remove this, but everybody said just do it. The new stuff is more modern, it's lighter, it does a better job removing the sound. So I'm happy that I did this. And on top of that, you know, rust is developing over here where we couldn't see. There's some rust back here we couldn't get to. It's rusting in this seam. Pretty much anywhere there's seams, it's rusting. So I'm pretty excited that we pulled this up and back here, because that just means we're gonna be, you know, resealing it up, which is good. But let me show you this really quickly before I wrap this video up, because it's pretty bad here. And again, just like this, the fuel door or over here and where the brake lines go in, this rust is bad. I mean, I don't remember from underneath what this was for or why there was even a plug here, but yeah, this rust is pretty bad here, and I wanted to show you guys that as I was peeling it up. This was underneath, this was one of those plugs, I assume. This was underneath the sound deadening material, which we probably wouldn't have been able to fix this properly unless we lifted up the material. So I'm happy about that. You know, the passenger side is pretty clean. We got some rust right here we're gonna have to deal with. I'm gonna have to use the heat to get that out, because, you know, they use like a glue. This isn't a seam, and up there it's a seam, but this isn't a seam, and it's really hard to chip out unless you have the ice or you heat it up. So we'll go back and heat that up. And I just want to point this out. I know I got a little excited and sprayed this, but that's just zinc on top of the bare metal that we knocked down in today's video, because I wanted to make sure it doesn't re-rust, and just a light layer of zinc will prevent that, and it'll start to like and galvanize the rust. So this is really the results we're looking for. We're gonna knock it all down as clean as we possibly can. Obviously there were some spots I couldn't get to in the creases. I need some other tools to do that, but we're gonna do what we did there to the entire interior and just slowly make our way through. So pretty much the next couple videos, if I can do it all next week, I will have the entire interior stripped down, and, you know, then we'll start coating it with whatever we're gonna coat it with. But the next couple videos are going to be similar to this, where it's like just non-stop time-lapse videos where I'm not talking as much, because, you know, I'm just trying to stay in rhythm to get as much work done as I possibly can. If we can get everything like this across the entire interior, and I mean, we coat it up with something that's going to stop it from rusting, whether it be the encapsulator, POR 15, you know, this zinc, just to cap off the rust after we knock it down where we need to. Obviously, we can just take the next steps, but I need clean metal to weld to, obviously, so in some places I'm not going to go too far, so when I'm ready to weld I can just knock down those areas and then weld in the pieces that we need. But I don't think we're going to need to weld much on the floor pan other than right over here, and possibly, if that's really bad, right there. I am going to end up doing something that I need to do over here, which we'll talk about in another video, but this is really good. We've gotten a lot done, and I'm super pumped about it. All the sound deadening material is out pretty much, other than like a few pieces in the back there. This piece right here and these little tricky pieces, like, that's no big deal. That'll take just a couple minutes to get removed from the car. So that's where we're gonna wrap up this week's video. I'm super excited about this, guys. The interior actually came apart way quicker, and after I got that dash out, you know, it really opened the thing up. It's really not as bad. And now that we're knocking the rust down and then gonna coat it, it's just gonna be phenomenal. This is gonna be so much better for the project and the end result. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Next week, it's gonna be a bunch of time-lapsing of me knocking down all the rust with whatever tools I'm using. And you can look forward to that. But in the meantime, have a great week. One more time, thank you for watching. If you haven't subbed to my channel, make sure you do. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will talk to you guys in the next Subaru Saturday. Peace out.